guys, I'm Anita and I'm back with another video. It's been such a long time since I've done a video of anything. Over a year ago I posted my last video, and I've tried coming back multiple times and done vlogs and tried to do vlogs and all of that, but for some reason I just haven't really been inspired to film. And when I did film, I forgot. I started filming and then I forgot to sort of come back with an update of some kind. And sometimes I filmed the whole thing but never edited it. So hopefully this one turns up on your feed wherever. I don't know exactly what this video is going to be. Probably just a check-in, letting you know what I'm currently working on. My reading year this year has been so weird. I haven't really read any fantasy at all, which is so unlike me. I think that already started last year, and that's why I sort of fell out of my YouTube thing, because I felt like part of my identity on this channel has been reading fantasy and sci-fi, and suddenly I was leaning more towards reading a lot more romances, which I don't mind, and I don't think it's wrong to read romance. Please don't misunderstand me, but I just think that, yeah, part of me felt like a big part of my identity was reading a lot of fantasy and coming with fantasy recommendations of some kinds, and I really didn't. I don't know what happened. I've hardly touched any of my books from my physical shelves over the past year. I still watch a bunch of YouTube, but yeah, I don't know what happened, why I lost my interest in fantasy for a while there. I think maybe I was in a book slump or something, and then realized it was easy to read some romances to feel like you got through some books, and so that's what I did a lot of the time. Sometimes I reread books. I've reread a couple of Terry Pratchett's fantasy books because I knew they were gonna give me joy, and it did, and it was fun. But this year has been mostly focusing on continuing with some of the audio series that I've been listening to, like the In-Depth series. I've been listening a lot to them and I've really enjoyed them. They become better and better, in my opinion. There was a sort of a couple of books here and there where I was more of 4 stars, whereas the last, I don't know how many, 4 or 5 books at least, has been 5-star reads for me. So that has been a lot of really great. I have been reading a lot of Iris Grey. Iris Grey has been like a savior this year. I think that she wrote she writes romantic comedy in a way that I really appreciate. I think that the way that she doesn't necessarily always have a third act breakup or super dramatic breakups, at least, that's something I really like. I think that the majority of the time I really genuinely like both of the characters. Sometimes when I read romances, I feel like they're so overly dramatic, and while they have a lot of good qualities, there's also some times where I feel like they are taking advantage of the other person because they know that they can make them do this and that. But I really enjoy them. I read, I don't know how many. It started out by me reading Scoring Wilder, I think. I had a couple of her books on my Kindle, and I think I read that in February or March, I don't remember. I think it was March, maybe. And I really enjoyed that. Gave it 5 stars. It was a soccer player, so it reminded me a little bit of Culty in that way. And then I read the other Iris Grey books because I realized I've never rated an Iris Grey book badly, so I decided to check the other 2 books that I had at the time, and once I finished them, I realized I just want to read all of them. So I have made a list of all of her books and I started working my way through them, and I've really enjoyed them. I don't give a lot of super many 5 stars, but I've definitely given out a few, and I've given out a lot of 4 stars and a couple of 4.5 stars, but I've never gone lower than a 4 star. So in that way I think she's a very good author to me. I'm pretty sure when I pick up a book of hers that I will enjoy the book, and that's something that I can't say for many other romance authors. So that is something that that's something I've been reading a lot from this year. What else? So yeah, my reading has been pretty weird, and I've sort of thought about what I could do to sort of bring it back, bring my vlogs back. I just started vlogging randomly. I started trying to do Dewey's vlogs because I have been reading for Dewey's. And maybe someday I can sort of make a clip so you can see that I've tried different things over the last year, but and maybe put a timestamp on it, but I don't know if I'm gonna do that. We'll see. So yeah, what else have I been reading? I started dabbling into some sort of authors that I've wanted to check out, and sort of decided to make a rule of 3. So I've checked out at least 3 books by the author to decide whether I wanted to continue with them. One of those authors was Emily St. John Mandel. I read those 3 novels that she has, and I realized I don't love them. I'm on a 3 to 3.5 stars for all 3 books. My favorite one being Station 11. I thought I really liked that one, but I didn't. Not love at least. It was good. I understand some of it, but yeah. What else? I read Ashley Winstead, both In My Dreams I Hold a Knife, which is a sort of a thriller book, and then I read 2 romances by her, and I realized they're both very political influenced. Like they work in campaigning for someone political, I think governor stuff, which was interesting, but I found it a little bit weird that they were so similar, 2 romances, but I definitely enjoyed them both. I read Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I tried 3 of her books, but they were also not, I really thought that I would love them because I feel like a lot of people have talked about them, The Lion Game and stuff, and I gave them all 3 stars. I tried Emily Henry, and they were mix of ratings, but they were interesting. I think there's a lot of good things to say about some of them. I read more from Christina Lauren. I think that's sort of what I've been working on. Those were some of the things that I've been working on over the past year, or at least in 2024. Lots of things have happened in general. My sister had another baby, so now I have 2 nieces and a nephew. She had a baby in June. My dad is sadly sick. He has gotten cancer in his bone marrow. Yeah, sort of a cancer type that's likely to bone marrow cancer, but just that it's more of a local. Right now they've only found something in his shoulder, but he's getting tested, and he's been tested to see if he might have something in other places to find out what sort of treatment he's going to get through. So yeah, it's been a little difficult. And what else? Yeah, I've been busy at work, obviously. I'm actually leaving for Poland next weekend, which is going to be fun. Sort of a trip with my colleagues. Yeah, my cat is sleepy, so she's napping right now. I celebrated my own birthday yesterday because my birthday was on Thursday. So it's been interesting. We've had super nice weather the past, I would say since Wednesday. We've been having around 20 to 21, 22 degrees Celsius, which is summery temperatures on this side of the planet at least. And I don't remember ever having this nice weather on my birthday. I generally tend to have pretty nice birthdays weather-wise. Because it's September, it can be rainy, but last year was actually storming, so that was one of the lesser good ones. But most years, I would say 8 out of 10 times it's sunny, and sort of between 15 to 20 degrees. That's like more often than not. So that's a lot better than this year. But I'm enjoying it, and it seems to change next week. So it was nice to have this. We didn't even have this with stretch of nice weather over the summer. It was actually really bad. So it's weird having to thinking about maybe we should have sort of had our summer vacation in August, September rather than in July, because we would have had weather that matched that, but we didn't. So anyway, long story short, that was sort of a talk about what I've been working on over the year, what has happened, what have been going on. Right now I'm currently listening to an audiobook, and I'm also currently reading an ebook. The audio that I'm listening to right now is Promises in Death. I'll put a cover screen of it out here. Promises in Death by J.D. Robb. This is the 28th book in the In Death series. So it shows how many books I've been reading from this series. I think last year I started back in on this, and so I was on 11 books when I started that year, and so now I'm 28 books in. I'm about to start chapter 9, but how far am I? I have 4 hours left. I'm about halfway into chapters 9. 4 hours in, usually they're around 11 to 12 hours. Oh, this is 12 hours and 45 minutes, so... But I'm enjoying it a lot. A whole lot, actually. So I'm looking forward to seeing what would happen. The other book that I am currently working on is by R.S. Grey. I think I mentioned that earlier in this. I need to charge this. But it is called To Have and to Hate by R.S. Grey. It's one of her, I think it's one of the newer ones. I'm not sure. I actually just looked on Kindle every month to see if there are some books on sale, and if there are sales, I will buy a bunch of them, like at the moment, and then I will have for future months. I have one more, I think, before I have to go dig in search for more. But I'm really enjoying it. So far, this is a sort of marriage of convenience book. We're following this girl who is an artist. Her sister bails out of a betrothal to this man. Their father started this company together, and in order to get access to the trust funds, they have to commit into a marriage. But her sister, who's supposed to be married to him, bails out last minute and flees. And so she ends up taking up the spot as the wife, and she has never met the guy, she's not talked to him at all. And then, yeah, he's very sort of standoffish and not really, he doesn't really talk to people and stuff, and seems very, I don't know. But yeah, so far I've enjoyed it. It's always engaging when I read a book by her, so I like it so far. My plan is actually that I am going to be starting in on a fantasy vlog right now to see if I can sort of reboot the channel, reboot my fantasy books. I have an idea of how to do it, and I have a couple of ideas for some video ideas ahead, but I have to wait around to get some books. I actually haven't bought any books this year at all, and that says a lot about what has happened. I haven't bought a single book this whole year, at least not for myself. I bought a couple of books for my dad for gifts. When he got ill, we decided as us kids that he would have a lot of waiting around time, so we bought him a couple of books so that he would have something to read while he was waiting. Maybe he was admitted to the hospital or something, but he wasn't actually, but he ended up being at home. So yeah, that was I think something that I did, but otherwise I haven't bought any books this past year. So I think the last order I did was in 23 for awesomebooks.com, and that was I think in May. So that says a lot about my reading trip, whatever. Yeah, so anyway, this was my video for now. I am happy to be back. Hopefully I will be more consistent. I hope to do a check-in of sorts every week. Maybe I'll film it on the weekends, on Sundays. I can't do that next Sunday, but I can do it on a Monday, and then upload it on Mondays, so I can be like a Monday reads like back in the day. That's what I'm thinking, at least, because I like those formats. I like the way that I can talk about the books, and I don't think I'm gonna be doing a full wrap-ups, but we'll see. I can change my mind if I want to. Yeah. But anyway, let me know in the comments down below what you've been reading over the past year. Are you still here at all? I'm wondering if everyone has left. I wouldn't be surprised if they found it a little bit tiresome waiting around for me to come back with some videos. But if you're here still, hello, and thank you for sticking along, and hopefully someone new will see this and come back so I can get some reacquainted with fellow readers. So yeah, anyway, this is everything I had for you today. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video very, very soon. Goodbye.